Hey my friends, today we'll be talking about ascending to fifth dimension and what is fifth dimension and how to ascend or what it actually means. So first of all, many times I can find comments, I don't want to be left in third dimension, or people are asking like how to go into fifth dimension. And many times when I'm talking about visualizing the future, people think that if we are visualizing, then we are not acting or not taking action. Therefore, things can change in third dimension in reality. So when I'm talking about visualizing, I'm talking about action. When we are visualizing something we would like to experience, we also need to walk towards it. Right? So we'll be talking a lot about everything today. First of all, when it comes to third, fourth, and fifth dimension, it's not that something is separating from something else. Like if you're in fifth dimension, you're not in third dimension anymore, or something like that. It means that a part of your consciousness is expanding, but a part of your consciousness is still in third dimension. But because your awareness is expanding, you are more aware. When awareness is expanding, you are more aware. So when we're talking about fifth dimension, the dimension of the present moment, when time is only now, it means that we can decide what we want to experience, but then we need to bring that decision into third dimension so we can experience it. It doesn't mean that we will end suffering. It doesn't mean that we will stop the pain, fear, anger, all the negative experiences. It means that we will change our perception about it. So the third dimension, the dimension of space and time, if we want to move through space, we will experience time. It's quite familiar to us. Fourth dimension is the awareness of the time. Awareness that time is really relevant. When we are doing something we love, it seems like time is moving faster. When we are doing something we hate, it seems like time is moving slower. In fourth dimension, we also become aware that our actions are creating results. So we become more aware of what we are doing, because we know that whatever we are doing will make something. Something will find us. We could say karma. Karma in Sanskrit means action. Many people believe that whatever they did in their past life, now they are paying bills of their past actions. But the truth is that it's just a belief. Karma means action, and action means doing something, right? And karma actually means that whatever you do will create results, and results will find you. But it also means that you can change your karma every time when you will change your action. Each action starts in our mind. Thought is an action. Emotions, feeling emotions, is action in the body, as each emotion is producing chemistry in the body, which cells are responding to. And then physical action, what we are doing with our bodies, it's all an action. How we are acting, how we are reacting, how we are responding, it's all an action. Everything packaged together is connected by a force which we can call karma. In fourth dimension, we become aware of that force. And when we become aware of that force, we become more aware of what we are doing and why we are doing it. If we want to create greater results in our life, we need to have a certain motivation to do it, a certain purpose, why I want to do it. When you have that motivation, that purpose to do something, you will become truly aware of how you're acting, how you're feeling, and how you're thinking, which will create a new state of being. You will become more aware, more self-aware. So this is fourth-dimensional consciousness, being more self-aware. What you're doing and why you're doing whatever you're doing. So what is then fifth-dimensional consciousness? In fifth dimension, everything changes a little bit. Because in fifth dimension, there is no such a thing as one karma, one reality, one possibility, one cause and effect. In fifth dimension, everything exists simultaneously. Scientists are saying in the sphere of quantum physics, the quantum theory, that in fifth dimension, everything is already created. So we are not actually creating, but rather choosing the potentials. Many times I'm explaining this. So in fifth dimensional consciousness, everything already exists. And if everything already exists, everything we can imagine is already real there. And we can choose that potential reality through our imagination. If you can visualize it, it means that it's already yours. If you can feel it with your body, you can drone it into third dimension. Because our physical bodies are in third dimension. Our mind is in fourth dimension, but a greater awareness of our mind, or a field which is beyond our mind, is in fifth dimension. We could say our soul or a consciousness is in fifth dimension. And ascendance to the fifth dimension means expanding of consciousness. When your awareness is expanding into the awareness of the present moment, awareness of infinite potentials, you are ascending into fifth dimension. So why it is relevant? It's actually not so important if we don't know why it is important. It is important because we know that we can create a change. So the question is, what kind of change we want to create? It takes a lot of energy just to think about it. What kind of change you want to create? Because if you would walk on the street and you would ask random people what they truly want in life, most people would not know how to answer this. And even if they would answer, they would say, I want an infinite abundance. I want to be rich. Maybe I want to be loved. I want to be happy. But nobody knows what is being rich. What is an infinite abundance? How it looks like, how it feels like. How being loved feels like. Is being loved having a partner of your dreams? Or is being loved an emotional state? Is being loved a fulfillment which we feel in our hearts? If we think deeply, we see that knowing what we want takes a lot of energy and a lot of focus. So if you want to ascend into a fifth dimension, you need to know what you want. And if we think about human beings as a community or an organism called human beings, when we're thinking about what we want, we are not alone here. We are all connected. So when we are thinking about what we want, also is related to what we want as together, a community. What community needs? Community needs compassion, needs connection, needs to be safe, needs to be happy, needs to be inspired by something, needs to be motivated by something, needs to have a purpose. So when we are thinking about knowing what we want, you see, it takes a lot of awareness. Firstly, to know ourselves. What myself truly need. Knowing yourself. When you know yourself, you are in fifth dimension. So what is blocking people in order to ascend, in order to grow or expand? Lower emotions like fear and anger, separation, judgment, stress, depression, all those negative states which are lowering down our vibration. And because we don't know how to overcome them, we are not searching for greater solutions. We are not looking into the future. We are rather looking into the past so we can reaffirm why we feel those emotions. Those emotions are always seeking the reason why we feel that way. So our body is always asking why I feel that way. And as I mentioned, if emotions are creating chemistry to which cells in the body are responding according to epigenetics, it means that our body is used to feel this kind of emotions. And when we change our thoughts, body will experience a change, and firstly it will not like it. It will say, I'd rather stay like I was before. And body will start sending signals to the brain, hey, what you're doing, we are not the same as we were before. Go back to who you were, because it was our known, familiar state. That's why the change is hard, because we experience this resistance in the body. We experience unfamiliar, unnatural feelings. So we start thinking why we shouldn't change, why the change is not for us, why we should feel bad, and so on. And that's why people don't want to change. That's why people say it's not meant for me. My intuition is telling me that I shouldn't change. It's not intuition, it's your body is telling you that because it is not used to that new self. So that's why I like to say to you, you need to disconnect from your identity a little bit. You need to go deeper. You need to stop reacting. Stop reacting and reconnect with yourself. How to do that? We need to overcome our analytical mind, because when body through emotion starts sending signals to the brain, our analytical mind will start perceiving the signals. Yeah, I will start tomorrow. I'm too old. I'm too lazy. I don't have enough energy. All those thoughts. But if we learn to shut off our analytical mind, we will connect to greater intelligence, which is always present within us, but we are not aware of it. So where is that intelligence? When we are stressed, when we are analyzing, when we are criticizing our lives, our brain is in beta brainwave state, high beta, low beta. But when we go into more calm state, for example, before we fall into sleep, or when we enter into a meditative state, our brain will go into alpha state according to neuroscience. Brain will go into alpha state. In alpha state, brain becomes more calm, more relaxed. What happens in the mind? Mind will become more clear. So you can start thinking more clearly. You are not thinking anymore what your body is saying, but rather what would be best for you. You start thinking creatively. What would be the best possible solution that you can create? What would be the best possible way that you can create that solution? If you're an artist, you probably are familiar with that state, because in this state we are receiving ideas. For example, when I'm planning to create my next painting, I go into that alpha state and I receive an idea. If I stay a little bit longer in meditation, I will see a vision of my next painting, probably in theta state, which is the next more calm state from alpha. So this is how we can shut off our analytical mind. And the easiest way is if you enter into your meditation and you start breathing slower. You place your attention into your heart. So your attention is not in your mind, but in your heart. By doing that, we place all our energy into our heart, and the aftermath will be that brain will go into more calm state, from alpha to theta, and maybe even more calm state. Depends of your mission with your meditation. But the thing is that by doing that, we overcome our emotional reactive state. So we can see that life can be much easier. To overcome certain challenges can be much easier. And by doing that, sooner or later we will become aware that we are more powerful than we've been told. So if we are able to overcome emotional state, we are able to step beyond third dimension. As I said before, in fourth dimension, we become aware of the force, which we can call karma, cause and effect, action. And when we become aware of that force, now in meditation, for example, we can communicate with it. We can create a relationship with it by generating feeling within your heart. If you want to call up a certain manifestation or certain thing that you would like to manifest, call it with a feeling in your body as it is already present in your life. For example, manifesting love can happen by feeling love within your heart before it happens. How to do that? In meditation, you can visualize how you felt when you were feeling love the last time. Maybe you were with a certain person or something happened in your life that you felt love. Maybe you were listening a certain music or watching a certain movie where you've experienced love within your body. The feeling that you felt, which you've described as, I'm in love right now. This is the feeling that you need to generate to communicate with that force, which is constantly supporting you. It is working for you. Many times people think that we are victims of karma, we are victims of life, we are victims of circumstances. But actually life is constantly providing what we are vibrating in the core level of ourselves. But because people are not aware of their core vibration, they're not aware why things are happening in their life the way they are. And today's message is to become aware of your core heart vibration so you can start changing the events in your life, and you can start acting and reacting more lovingly. So the fifth dimension then is to see all possible potentials, or at least a one potential which would be the most kind for you, or the best possible for you. What is the thing that you would like to experience? What is truly the main thing that you would like to experience? And as I mentioned before, you need to know what you want. You need to be precise what you want. So this is fifth dimensional consciousness, and ascending to fifth dimension means that we truly become more aware of ourselves, of our purpose, of our mission, and of our intention, what we truly want. So this is it for today, my friends. I'm sending you love, power, and blessings. Have a beautiful day and see you soon. One love.